Hi and welcome. I'm Lisa Rangel from Chameleon Resumes, the premier executive resume writing company, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about 2 must-have resume achievements that you need to have in your executive resume. Post-pandemic, if you do not have these achievements listed in your executive resume, it's not going to come across as powerful as those that you are competing against alongside of you. So I'm going to outline today 2 achievements that you need to have in your executive resume. So this way you will remain ahead of the pack in getting called in for that desired executive interview. So the first achievement is related to labor. How you retain, attract, and develop talent in the marketplace. Now, you may think, but I'm a CFO, I'm a chief marketing officer, I'm not the chief human resource officer. What does that have to do with anything? Well, being any leader around the executive board table needs to be able to attract, develop, and retain talent in this marketplace. The cost of turnover is never been higher, and it's becoming harder and harder to find qualified talent for your particular role. So it is a lot cheaper and much more effective, for lack of disruption in business, to retain the talent that you have. And when you do need to go seek out new talent, that you have the ability and the programming and the presence to attract high quality talent. So being able to articulate this in specific achievements on your resume is paramount. And again, it doesn't matter whether you are the CTO, the CIO, the CFO, the COO, all the C's, it doesn't matter. You need to be able to, again, attract, develop, and retain talent. Also showing how you've helped individuals come up through whether it's succession planning or leadership development programs, and showing how the people that you bring in are ultimately then are used to being brought up through the ranks and used through various areas of leadership in the organization that you work for. So this way you're showing that you can cultivate talent. That's key. So you want to make sure that you put all of this in an achievement-like format, and these are different ways that you can do it that I just articulated to you. So that's point number 1. Number 1 must-have achievement that you need to have in your executive resume. The second most important post-pandemic achievement that you now need to include in your resume, and it's got a few facets to it, but it pertains to resources. Whether it's an outright supply chain issue in your particular industry, or being able to make sure that your product or service can be delivered to your client, right? So a distribution issue. Being able to capture, harness, resources, and be able to then implement them in order to execute the services or products that you're selling to your clients. This is key. This is, without the people being number 1 and without the resources number 2 in which to do that, you're not going to be an effective leader. So, obviously in today's headlines, it's now about, lithium batteries and microchips and baby formula. And that fortunately for those industries will change to be rectified hopefully soon. And unfortunately, there will be new things that we are having issues on, having shortages on in upcoming weeks and months. And so this is always going to be an issue that comes up for leadership. And again, you might not be in, vendor procurement, you might not be in, you might not be a COO, but whatever seat you have around the table, and even as middle management wanting to then get to the next level, this is a mindset that you want to adopt, and you want to have these achievements in your resume firsthand. And frankly, there's even jobs now being created around this idea of alternative resources given the shortages. So, you might be, and this is affecting every industry. It's not just those that are in the headlines. Although again, today's headlines are around, say lithium batteries and baby formula. Seeing it in construction industries, you can't get certain parts, so it holds up the actual movement of a completion of building a house. You can't get parts for cars. My brother has had a car in a shop for honestly over 4 months because he can't get the part. So it's something as simple. It can be as simple as that. So the key is, if you are a leader and you can problem solve either the actual problem within your specific company as it pertains to resources or distribution or labor, you are going to have a place. You are going to then eke out and be ahead of the competition at the level that you are at. If everyone else is simply saying, here's what I've done, and they're not necessarily applying it to how that can fix the problems that exist in those potential employers today, and they're just talking sort of looking back and they're not applying it looking forward, that's your opportunity. That's your ethical opportunity in this chaos that we're in and will probably continue to be in for the next 6 to 12 months, if not longer, depending on who you talk to. So, this is where your mind needs to go as an executive, or needs to already be as an executive. And if you are an aspiring leader, this is where your mind needs to go. So these are 2 must-have resume achievements that you need to have in your executive resume. Again, how you attract, maintain, retain, and develop talent. And the second is really how you create resources and channels of resources for your particular business or your particular industry. So this way you can still deliver upon items sold or services sold to clients that are engaging with you. So that's what today's topic is about. So again, I'm Lisa Rangel, Chameleon Resumes, premier executive resume writing company. If you find that this will be helpful to someone else, I'm going to ask you to share it. If you liked the content, I'm going to ask you to like it. And if you feel like you now know what you need to do in terms of the resume you need to write for yourself, I give you some templates that you can actually access in the description below or in the comments below. And you can start with using the templates that I've created to then create the resume bullets that I've just articulated here for you to have in that executive resume that you want to land yourself the interview with. So again, Lisa Rangel, Chameleon Resumes, and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss next week's video, and feel free to comment or email me at lr@chameleonresumes.com because I read and reply to every email. So thanks so much. Thanks for watching, and see you next week. Take good care.